Geronimo by Shepherd. You're listening to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. I am White Shadow, and I'm joined in the studio by...
Hello, Jade. Hello, it's me. Hello.
Yes, I'm joined by Hello, Jade. Hello.
Yeah.
Yep, this is going to be the title of her new EP.
Whoop, whoop. You know, it's 2 years since I announced my old EP.
Yes.
Whoops.
I saw, was it a Facebook thing or a tweet I saw the other day saying it marked exactly 2 years.
It wasn't a tweet because I'm still locked out.
Oh, you're still locked out. I know. I saw your other account. You got like 7 followers in your new account or something. And I hope it gets fixed. I hope it gets fixed. Now, I'm going to start things off on a bit of a downer because... Oh, no. It'll be the only downer of the show.
Okay, good.
Hopefully. Hopefully, yes. Because Aretha Franklin.
Oh, no.
I know, the Queen of Soul.
I know.
But the interesting thing is, she died on exactly the same day, 41 years later, as Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Yes, the same day.
Right, conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory time.
That's crazy.
I know.
Not to the same hour, no.
I doubt it was to the same hour.
Okay, because that'd just be too weird.
I'd be surprised if I could get hold of that much detail. Very weird. I know. There was her funeral. Was her funeral?
Has it been already?
I don't think it has. No,
I was going to say.
I'm getting confused with somebody else.
Do you know whose funeral it was the other day, though?
Barry Chuckle. Yes, I know.
Somebody put a picture of what's the other one's name? Barry and.
Oh
no! Paul. Of him carrying his coffin.
Oh, I know.
Broke my heart.
I can imagine.
Broke my heart.
I know, it's the end of an era. The end of an era.
Uh-huh.
He changed so many lives. I can remember when I was really little. It was one of the...
I used to love the Chuckle Brothers. It is though.
Oh my gosh! Wow. So, yeah, what have you been up to over the past week? Has anything exciting been happening? Any stories?
Something I did yesterday that was pretty fun. Right?
Okay.
We had our friends over from Canada because we were meant to be going over there. We weren't now. Doesn't matter. They came over here. We had a great time. And we took them around London. We showed them all the sites, showed them a lot of Sherlock sites, showed them a lot of Harry Potter sites because, you know, London is filled with them. Absolutely jam-packed. You don't need to spend a fortune to see the hot spots of London. But we also had something courtesy of my sister booked at 2 something. And it was a treasure hunt on the underground.
Nice.
And it was so fun. It was, I think, it was like 4 questions. And the first one was like, something like, it was all within zone 1. But unfortunately, the Bakerloo line was closed, so that put a bit of spanner in the works. They were like, you don't need it. So it was kind of a good thing because we could eliminate all the stations on the Bakerloo line. But it was like something like the first question was, this English man is very angry, King's Cross. So we were like, King's Cross, let's go! And it was so wacky, but good wacky, because we had all these questions about stations, but we also had bonus questions. So we had to take pictures. We had to try... We didn't get this one and it really annoyed me. We had to try and find a bald man with a bushy beard, or just a beard, and get him to shake hands with a man that had a bushy head of hair but was clean shaven. So like yin and yang kind of thing.
Yeah.
We didn't get that one and it was so annoying because we found that light. What's going on? I'm kind of liking this light, and it's not as panderised. It's good.
Panderised.
We could find like a really bald man with an amazing beard, and we were at one point we were just like, right, we're going to grab him. We'll pay for your train ticket. Come with us to the next train station, and we'll find a man with the opposite of you. But we couldn't. But we did find a man. We had to find a man and get him to propose to one of our team. And my sister did it, and it was so awkward because we were like, let's find a man that's alone, because otherwise this is just going to be real awkward. And we find this man that's alone, and then we're like, okay, we're on a treasure hunt, we're not crazy. Can you just get down on one knee and pretend like you're proposing to one of us? It will get us loads of bonus points, thank you. And he was like, yeah, sure. And his girlfriend turns up. And she was like... Oh no, I think she was dropping like mega hints though. It was so awkward. She was like, this never happens to me. Like, oh no.
Oh, wow.
Have we sparked something here?
Talk about opening a
I
can
know,
of worms.
I know. I was like, I don't want them to go home and have an argument. But we did that. We also, my favourite one, because I just love dogs anyway, we had to find a dog and their owner and just take a picture of them in a station or on a train.
Nice.
And dogs don't really go on trains, so our best bet was on a station. Because last time I saw a dog on a train, it was panicking and it was heartbreaking. But we found a woman and a dog, and we just took a picture, and then we came across the gold mine, because you got bonus points if the dog looked like their owner. And I'll show you the picture in the break.
I do hope this wasn't a bulldog.
We had to tread quite lightly, because we didn't want to be like, okay, your dog is
Yeah, you
like,
look
find
like
a really
dog.
fat
Let me
dog
take a photo.
or a really like shaggy dog and be like, you look like your dog. No, we found this really petite dog and this young girl, and they both had a top knot, and it was just, we were like, okay, we got to go for it.
That was fate.
And the dog had a little ponytail, and so did she, and it was glorious.
Oh.
But yeah, we also we did win a prize though, because one of the bonus questions was to find someone that looked like one of our team. And a boy called Jonathan in our team, we were in a station, and I just went, right, him over there, go now. This is your only bet. Our train comes in a minute. You've got the same hair, you've got the same build, you look the same, you're both male, go for it. We don't have anything else, and we came second out of like 33 teams. We got 49 points out of 50.
That is nice. That is
It
impressive.
was well fun. We didn't win though, because there was a lot of like older teams, more experienced teams, because we were all like between 18 and 22, so
Yeah.
you know. But it was so fun. It was so fun.
That sounds so cool.
It was so tiring, but it was so fun. Oh
That's
my
the light to the
god!
back. We have a blinky light.
We do.
We have a very blinky light in the studio today.
That's so weird.
That's all we're haunted.
Yeah.
We'll
Probably
let you
haunted.
decide. If you think we're haunted, tweet into the studio
Yeah.
at Insanity Radio. If you think it's just a bulb that's struggling to keep the pace, let us know.
Bulb after my own heart.
In the meanwhile, we have had a song request from my good new buddy Rebecca Simmons
Okay, you're a legend.
and Paige, who are both tuning into Insanity Radio right now at work. If there are any customers in there right now, you know where you are. Buy more stuff. You know you want to. I can't bring myself to introduce this song they've requested.
I will.
So go for it.
Oh, this is a gem and a half. This is Breaking Free from High School Musical.
We're soaring, flying. There's no
It's Tricky by Run DMC. Before that, we had
Breaking Free! Breaking Free! Come on, acknowledge it. It's a historic event in our time.
by the High School Musical cast. You're
Thank
listening to
you.
Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. I am White Shadow, and this is the singer-songwriter and all-round general creative genius, Jade Thornton.
Hi! Hello.
Oh, wow. And yeah, I was, while I was doing some research for this show, because I had a topic I wanted to cover, but I ended up getting very, very off course because I discovered something else that was quite scary to me. And
What?
Well, you see, the topic I was going to cover was sort of things that millennials would probably never, ever, ever understand. Like having to choose between the phone and the internet.
No, I do.
I know you do.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do, yeah.
You experienced this.
I do very distinctly remember
This is how
that.
we know you're not quite a millennial.
No, I do remember all
Oh,
of that very
gosh.
distinctly.
And of course, passing handwritten notes around in class.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's all about text messaging and,
Yes.
and Instagramming and Pinteresting and Snapchatting and everything else. All those other
Yes,
things. There's so many of
yes.
those I haven't even looked at yet. I'm just so confused.
Nah, you better stay away, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's pretty toxic.
And of course, something else that's scarily enough you remember is having to rewind your VHS tapes before
With a
returning them to
pencil. You're like,
Blockbuster.
Oh, block. Oh,
Yeah, cassette tape. How? I mean, I have no idea how much time I spent trying to fix broken cassette tapes as well. Like you said, rewinding them with a pencil. That was
see, like when we were talking about last week with Virgin Media, that's
yes.
just seems so normal now to just go. I want to watch that show. I'm gonna press record.
Yeah.
And it records it in HD, all of this. You can rewind through the recording, you can fast forward through the recording. And then I remember if I wanted to watch something when we had like just normal TV and we had a VCR,
Yes.
we'd have to record things onto tape.
Yes. You'd have to find
And
a tape
I couldn't do it. I just didn't know how to do it. If I want to watch something, I've got to watch something. So otherwise, if I don't, it's gone.
I think the favourite part was the little record protection tab. Once you'd broken that off, it was technically impossible to record. So you'd be sat there with bits of blue tack or cardboard trying to fill in that hole to emulate a tab so that you can use it to record again. And I used to do that with so many different things because
I never got the hang of it.
I feel like I was a certified genius. If somebody threw a VHS tape or a cassette tape and shattered it everywhere, I'd be able to put the whole thing back together again. I'd be able to sit there with a bit of glue and stick. I'd done that with so many tapes.
I wish I could.
I'd done that with so many tapes. I've still got a drawer full of videotapes.
I've still got a shelf full of videotapes.
Smooth.
Yeah, my dad's like, we'll find something that makes them work. Come on, because we've just got so many. So many like Only Fools and Horses and all that kind of jazz and all the kids videos that like the classic Disney ones, the original Disney ones like Lion King and stuff like that. Apparently they're worth something.
Well,
apparently everything's worth something now. So
this is something I argue the very, very first releases of the Disney cassette videos could be.
It was like that whole thing with £5 notes.
The problem is they re-released all of the Disney classics in digital formats, which annihilated everybody's interest in a VHS. I really don't know. I mean,
it's just their pure convenience, though. That's the thing. That's the kind of generation that we live in. Is just a generation of laziness,
and of course,
in the nicest way possible. But it is true.
Yes, and Disney sort of mass-produced pretty much all of their VHS tapes, so there's still a lot of them around. So by the time they're all sort of wasted away and there ain't much left of them, you're going to be wobbling around on a Zimmer frame before you get any value out of them cassette tapes. So I hope you've got a lot of storage. One day they will be antiques.
Yeah, that's like what I said like a few weeks ago about my friend's DVDs. You said, "Oh, maybe one day they might be worth something." We're already 20 years on from like I can't remember if it's the first or the last Friends episode. I think so. Yeah, 2000. Yeah. And you were like, "Oh, it might be worth something." They're so mass-produced that you have got to wait way beyond the time I die for them to be worth something. Honestly. Yes. And so I remember I was having a clear out because any 9 out of 10 women that are listening to this, or girls, you went through a One Direction phase, whether you like it or not. And I have so much One Direction stuff, and I just kind of like posters and stuff. I just bin them, and I was like, or just gave them to charity. Because I was like, oh, they might be worth something, but they're so mass-produced.
Yes.
That they're not even worth contemplating getting money out of them.
No, I think it was Pound World were selling One Direction 2017 calendars for like...
In 2018?
Yes, for like 25 pence or something, and trying to work out why they couldn't shift them.
There's your answer.
Yes. And I had this whole segment I was going to plan about things such, like that, struggling to find the right CD.
I want to hear some more.
Let's carry on because I had the whole thing of course doing the Macarena at every school dance.
Still do.
People still do.
They're not school dances, but house parties. I still do. I'm
it's
like,
kind of scary.
And you cross Macarena, please.
And trying to struggling to find the right CD in a storage bag because you had the zip up pouches with like 20, 40, 50 CDs in them, and you'd be flicking through them for ages trying to find the right one.
See, I still do that because I'm one of those awful people like Chandler and Friends that doesn't put the CDs back in the right case. So I just spent ages like opening up like a Stevie Wonder CD, and there's like, God knows. Oh. Apparently the light doesn't like Stevie Wonder.
We've got a part-time light bulb.
Part-time lover. It's just, I just don't put them. I'm like, I'm going to save you time. None of the CDs are in the right cases.
Wow.
Yes, I am bad.
I got so obsessive about that. I could never, ever do that.
I'm bad. I'm really bad.
And of course, back in the 90s, people used to have so much fun with calculators. Putting at things like 58008, we all know what that spells on a
Yes,
calculator.
yes.
And yeah, there are so many things
But
like
now
that.
you've got scientific calculators. That just erases all the fun.
Yeah, I know. I get scared by scientific
They're so
calculators.
confusing.
I'm looking at them. All I'm seeing is lots of wiggly lines and things.
We
that mean
genuinely had
absolutely
to
nothing.
have a separate lesson to like just sit down and go, right, this is what this does, this is what this does, this is what this does.
Wow.
And we were like, oh. And if you used the wrong setting in your exam, you were stuffed. Stuffed. You know, if you turn your... Oh, you don't have an iPhone. But if you turn your iPhone calculator sideways, you get a scientific calculator.
That's scary.
It is very,
That is scary.
very...
And of course, the number of people back... I'm assuming this might still be a thing, but back in the 90s and the early 2000s, people used to spend a lot of time pretending they knew how to play Minesweeper.
My actual childhood. I just click, and I'm like, okay, I haven't... You hit a bomb, was it?
That's right,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I just click,
Well, a
and I'm
mine,
like, okay.
technically.
Yeah, that makes more
It's-
sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
but-
yeah. And then I'd be like, click. Oh, that box is red. Click. Oh no, that's no. I never actually learned. I still don't know.
Oh, wow.
I still don't know.
See, I did learn, but I spent many years pretending I knew how to play before I actually figured out.
No, I was a drafts person.
Now I'm a bit of a genius at Minesweeper
And
now.
pinball.
Drafts.
And
Oh,
pinball.
I challenge you to a drafts duel.
Yeah, go on then. Right, you're on.
I'm down for that.
You're
I'm
on.
down for that. We're going to make this happen.
We're doing it.
We'll have to film this too. We'll have to
I
turn
used
this
to
into a video.
religiously play. Are you drafts or checkers? What do you? I usually
either.
say checkers.
Either. I'm not fussed. I
Yeah.
know them both as the same thing. Smooth.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. And there was a phase when everybody was wearing leotards everywhere they went, all of the time. Just because there was a celebrity who was into fitness. I forget who it was now. I forget who
was
it was.
luckily not part of that phase.
I
Very glad to not caught on to that trend.
and of course, thinking acid-washed jeans looked cool.
Acid washed anything.
Acid-washed anything, yes. And the waterbeds phase.
I've only ever been on one of them once.
People
and
used
it was
to
great.
envy their friends who had waterbeds.
Wait, people actually had them as beds?
Yeah,
Like
people actually had them as beds, as beds for when other people are staying around, spare bed kind of thing. And yeah, I used to love them. Apart from the seasickness I used to get, and the fear
Yeah, it might
of
be a slight problem.
the fear of like piercing it and flooding the living room or something. It was fun. It was fun. I remember we must have had about 8 bazillion dogs, and they all used to like claw into it, and then it
Oh
just
my God.
didn't work so good no more. You put the water in, it just come out again. So, and of course, slap bracelets.
Oh, yeah, I used to love those. They used to give them out as freebies, like, anywhere and everywhere.
Yes,
So I just have so many of them.
people used to cover their arms in them and walk around looking like rainbow tattoos or something. And of course, bun bags, which is such a controversial thing.
Bum bags.
Bun bags.
Bum or bun?
B-U-N, bun.
N, I think it's bum bags.
Bun bags.
What's a bun bag?
It's the pouches, the waist pouches.
Ow! They're back
Ow!
now.
They're back.
I find them
yes.
horrible.
I know,
Sorry.
it's over 30 years. And it was such a controversial thing back in the day. Some people thought they were so cool. And other
People think
thought-
they're cool now. I think they look horrific.
I
I really don't. I'm sorry. I really don't agree with them.
I remember I had a neon orange one when I was little. When I was little, I had a neon orange one. And we was planning to go to the seaside, and I'd saved up all my pennies and everything for the 2p machines and the 10p
still
machine.
do
I
that.
saved up for
Still do
ages,
that.
and this bun bag was filled to the brim with like God knows how much
Oh my
money.
God.
And we got in the car and we all went rolling off down to the seaside, and we got there, and when I got out, the bum bag was gone. And I have no idea. I must have like dropped it as I was getting into the car or something, but I never saw that money
That's
or that bun
heartbreaking.
bag ever again, and I was just like all day. Oh
People wear them to like festivals and stuff now.
yes, they
I
do.
think they look so So ridiculous.
But they do serve an
I hope
amazing
I'm not
purpose,
offending
though,
anyone,
because
but-
people with handbags and pockets and things, it's so easy for people to steal things from a handbag or a pocket
yeah.
or something like that. And a bun bag, they've got to have their hands right down there by your waist, and you're going to know that that hand is there. You're going to see it. You're going to...
Apparently the light likes bum bags.
Yes, we're going to start using this light as cues from now on.
Yes.
Good topics and bad topics.
It's like a really slow disco in here.
Yeah.
On.
It's a disco on Valium. Speaking of...
Don't say Valium.
Speaking of handbags and bun bags and stuff like that, we have had a song request in from Maisie, my good neighbour, my good friend.
Hello.
So we're going to throw this track on now. Stick around to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM because
Yeah,
the
boy.
tunes is rocking.
Yes.
Umbrella by the Baseballs. You're listening to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. Before that, we had Handbags and Glad Rags by Rod Stewart Fox. For real.
Yeah, that's another time. That's a story for another time. Yeah.
That is a story for another time.
Disgusting.
Wow. That's okay. Yes. So before that's wow. Yeah. Before that, before we were playing Umbrella and Handbags and Glad, that's completely thrown me at Fox.
Yes. Yes.
We were talking about. I was talking about a link that I wanted to do that I ended up not wanting to do that I ended up doing because Jade told me to do it anyway.
Yes.
And while I was doing some thinking and research and stuff for that topic, I realised something that was even more scary to me, and I ended up choosing that as this
What is
the
it?
topic.
What is it?
I realize I'm feeling old.
Okay, elaborate.
I mean, most people say 35 is not old.
It's not.
You've still got another 35 years before you can even consider thinking about calling yourself old.
Yes.
But then I realised while I was doing the research for this stuff at home millennial thing, I am older than the Apple Mac. I am older than a pound coin.
Oh my god.
I am older than a CD-ROM.
Wow.
I am older than DNA fingerprinting, laserjet printing, Microsoft Windows, disposable contact lenses, smartphones, Prozac, the camcorder, Trump Tower, HD TV, the internet, the digital answer machine, McNuggets, and the moonwalk. I am older than all of them things. Now tell me I'm not old.
You're not.
Oh my gosh.
35.
Halfway to 70.
I'm going to see what I'm older than. Yeah, sorry, I'm really intrigued. I really want to know.
I should have put it into the search engine something along the lines of what am I older than, and the
That
search
is
engine's
exactly
just
what I put in.
and the search engine's just coming back saying it depends how old you are. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was doing the research and I realised that I was older than all of those things, and that is actually quite scary. And a couple of days ago, I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were talking about something that happened in 1995, and I was like, that was only a couple of years. No, wait, where are we now? And then I realised that it was like 30 years ago.
I don't know how to find out things that I'm older than. You're just doing extensive research.
I'm
'cause
always doing extensive
I'm
research.
not about that life.
I spend practically all of my life in front of a PC doing stuff, and so I'm always...
I finished school a while ago.
It's very difficult trying to stay on track with anything when you've got
yeah.
access to things like search
YouTube.
engines and YouTube, and
YouTube is a very easy place to spiral into.
Yes, I started out at one point. I remember I was doing watching a YouTube video trying to find out how to... What was it I was trying to repair? I was trying to repair a pair of headphones. I was trying to find out how to wire them up correctly because I get all confused about wires and things. And
I wouldn't even know where to start.
nearly,
Headphones.
nearly 2 hours later,
Yeah.
it dawned on me that I still hadn't actually found the answer, but I had spent 25 minutes watching dog fail videos.
That's the story of my life.
I d-
Actual story of my life.
And it happens every time.
Dogs like accidentally running into the rivers and stuff.
Yes, and the very
all the
short
time.
ones that try to jump onto the sofa and end up just bouncing backwards and doing half backflips before landing awkwardly and just being like, it didn't happen. But it happens to me every single week when I'm trying to put together some ideas and topics for the show.
Yes.
I end up going down so many peculiar avenues and finding out so many peculiar things that by the time I'm done, I need to start again to get back to where I was to actually put something together. Which is also why I discovered that the US National Security Organization has a plan for a zombie outbreak.
Well, I hope they do.
Yes.
What is this plan?
It's
If it's anything like The Walking Dead, I don't want to know.
It's
I saw a T-shirt yesterday of a dad with his child, and he had a T-shirt that said "The Walking Dad."
smooth.
Sorry, carry on. Zombie outbreak.
Yes, it's called CONOP 8888.
Okay.
And I mean, the first page on there says zombies are horribly dangerous to all human life, and zombie infections have the potential to seriously undermine national security and economic activities that sustain our way of life. Therefore, having a population that is not composed of zombies or at risk from their malign influence is vital to US and allied national interests. And
I feel like that is all just common sense.
yeah.
This has been composed by the government, yeah?
Yes. The US military.
Okay.
And that kind of what I'd call a no-duh summation of the threat of zombies to national security comes from the pages of the CONOP 8888, the real document drafted by the US military planners that details how the country might best respond to a zombie outbreak. But then, and they've got like a 5-part plan of sort of,
Don't get bit. Don't go near one. Stay at home. Is that what? That's what I'm gathering is their plan, seeing the basic nature of the first segment you just read me.
It covers the what the Army's plan of action, what the National Defence's plan of action would be. It's not so much advice for people like me and you. It's sort of their plan of how they'd assess the situation and how they'd destroy or control the outbreak and how they'd try to recover from it afterwards.
Do you have the 5 steps?
I have a list here. Yes, I have.
I'm ready.
Okay, the plan. Let's see what we've got here. The US and international law regulate military operations only insofar as human and animal life are concerned. There are almost no restrictions on hostile actions against pathogenic life forms, organic robotic entities, or traditional zombies, the report says. And then it goes...
Do they have one for vampires as well? Or is that just a question?
I don't, in fairness, I think there's more likelihood of zombies than there are vampires.
Yeah, but I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly taken aback how they've just taken this at face value. They're like, okay, there's been loads of like TV shows about it. Let's just be careful. I feel like there needs to be a lot more discussion whether people to think that zombies are actually an option.
Is it? Yes.
The light doesn't agree.
No, the light doesn't agree.
Off it goes.
It's definitely time to move on to a whole new topic.
No.
We'll just throw that one
I want to know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
Yes, they've tried to keep this zombie plan general. They've said it would definitely work in the event of a zombie outbreak.
Okay.
But they said the plan is also useful for training because the new entry-level recruits need sufficient training for all kinds of military operations.
Sure, yes.
And they found, or they decided, that if they started using scenarios such as an example, a Brazilian fight or Brazilian war or something like that, Brazilians or the Brazilian government or whatever could be feeling uncomfortable with the fact that they were used in a demonstrative.
Yeah, fair enough.
So they decided zombies would be the best way to do it without offending anybody.
Okay.
So even though it would work for the sake of a zombie outbreak, they are using it mostly for training in other military operations without risk of making other countries think we're planning an attack.
Okay.
So,
making them look like the bad guy.
or making them look like the bad guy, yes. Which
Okay,
is
when you put it like that, it seems a lot more
logical.
less ridiculous. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it focuses on assuming the enemy is an epidemic zombie outbreak, which is fun. And actually had 3 pages of notes on this to read through, and it's all just...
One question.
Yes.
What would be your plan of action if we were ever to face a zombie apocalypse?
I think my plan of action, it kind of depends, because I've watched so many different... I'm a big fan of the whole zombie theory, and I've watched so many different kinds of films and movies that have so many different types of zombies.
What building would you go to first?
Oh, goodness. I mean, being this close to the university, I'd be very tempted to come here because they've got some pretty sturdy buildings.
Yeah,
pretty
those toilet
high
doors downstairs
buildings.
are impossible to pull open. The only times I've ever been to the toilet, it's taken like 3
Yes.
people to be like,
Most
trying
of
to open the door.
Yeah, I reckon everybody could just hide in the studio because almost every presenter struggles to even get in here with the doors. The fire safety doors are so secure, even the doors can't open.
Gotta have one
themselves.
entrance, one exit.
Yes,
No,
yes.
no 2 doors.
No 2 doors. See, I like the idea of 2 doors because if they come
Why?
in one way, you're getting out the other.
But if you're in the middle of both doors, then you're surrounded, and you don't have enough people to man both doors.
Oh, this is true. This
If you
is
have
true.
one exit and one entrance, as in the same one, then you have the option to control everything.
Unless they do actually break through, in which case you've got to go through them all to get out.
Or lead them into one corner and then run.
Yes, very swiftly. You can imagine somebody my size trying to dodge around a zombie.
Somebody my size, I'm like 5'3".
Exactly,
lost.
you could just walk underneath them. You could,
Glenn!
Do you know, it was the other day I was talking to a friend of mine. She always making jokes about how short she is, and she keeps referring it to it as short. And I keep saying to her, I don't like the term short. I like vertically challenged,
Fun-sized.
fun size, yes, bite size. Okay, yes. What are you? Speaking of zombies and outbreaks and military operations,
Something tells me you had this planned.
it's 100% pure coincidence.
No. No!
I promise you, 100%
No, I refuse to
pure
believe you.
coincidence.
Sorry, I refuse to believe you.
It's coincidence.
Nuh-uh.
Really is.
Nuh-uh.
Really is.
Go on, play it.
Into the streets, we're coming out.
Okay, this is actually the one thing I do love and that comes completely natural to me.
Follow at Insanity Radio.
What a strange being you are. God knows where I would be if you hadn't found me sitting all alone in the dark. Dumb screenshot of youth. Watch how a cold, broken teen will desperately lean on a superglued human of proof. What the hell would I be without you? Brave face told so lightly, hide the truth. 'Cause I'm sick of losing soulmates. So where do we begin? I can finally see you're as mucked up as me. So how do we win? Yeah, I'm sick of losing soulmates. Won't be alone again. I can finally see you're as mucked up as me. So how do we win? We will grow old as friends. Promise that before, so it's one more in our grey-haired circle waiting for the end. time and hearts will wear us thin. Path we take, cause we both know a break does exactly what it says on the tin. What the hell would I be without you? Oh, brave face talk so lightly, hide the truth. 'Cause I'm sick of losing soulmates. So where do we begin? I can finally see you're as mucked up as me. So how do we win? Yeah, I'm sick of losing soulmates. Won't be alone again. I can finally see you're as mucked up as me. So how do we win? I won't take no for an answer. I won't take no for an answer. And I won't take no. No, I won't take no. 'Cause I'm sick of losing soulmates. So where do we begin? I can finally see you're as mucked up as me. So how do we win? Yeah, I'm sick of losing soulmates. Won't be alone again. I can finally see you're as mucked up as me. So how do we win?
Jade Thornton, everybody, with a song I haven't heard you cover this before. I haven't.
This is the woman on my t-shirt.
This is the woman on your.
This
That's an interesting
is
title
only-
for a song.
Yeah,
The Woman on My
The
T-Shirt.
is called "This Woman on My T-Shirt" by this woman on my T-shirt. That song was called "Sick of Losing Soulmates" by Dodie Clark.
Dodie
She
Clark.
calls herself Dodie, but yeah.
Dodie is the woman on your t-shirt.
She is the woman on my T-shirt. I went to see her.
And just in case you can't see the woman on her t-shirt, tune into insanityradio.com/listen and
do.
hit that watch live button so that you can see the woman on her t-shirt.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
it's called "Sick of Losing Soulmates." It's well cool.
And before we were listening to that masterpiece, we were listening to all the things she said. Now, tell me, would you call that tattoo or would you call that T.A.T.U?
I'd call it Tatu.
You'd call it tattoo.
I'm confused as to why some of them are uppercase and lowercase. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, yeah, no, I see.
Yeah,
yeah.
mhm,
And
yeah.
before that, we were listening to "Save the World" by Swedish House Mafia. You're listening to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. And we've got so many listeners tuning in today.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mum. And yes, so yeah, I was.
Rewind. Start again. Rewind. There we go. Start again.
Archaeologists.
That's not where I was expecting it to go. Archaeologists. Okay, yeah, carry
I know,
on.
I used every syllable in a human language except R. The archaeologists discovered some broken jars inside the tomb of Atames, who was the mayor of Memphis in Egypt during the 13th century BC. And they uncovered these jars all the way back in 1985.
Okay.
And the tomb was later lost under drifting sands until 2010 when it was rediscovered, and they ended up re-exploring it and they dug deeper into it. And in July this year, details into the study found what they called a solidified whitish mass, which was found together with a canvas fabric that they believe may have been used to wrap this whitish mass.
You said this was in Egypt
Yes.
around the time of, like, ancient Egyptians.
Yes.
Is that not mummification?
They didn't usually put mummies in jars.
No, like, you know, where they... What's the thing? Oh, there's a word for it. Where they used to put their body, like their vitals, into jars so they could
yeah.
carry them into their next life.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. It has got a name, and I can't remember what it is. But no, this didn't turn out to be a organ or a body part.
Oh.
This turned out to be what has now been recorded as the world's oldest cheese. Is
That's disgusting.
they yes, they
What is it called?
what is it called?
Canopic jars. There's a process though. Sorry, carry on. I'll find the word.
The material they analysed in the study turned out to be a cheese that was made of a combination of cow's and goat's milk. And they're assuming, by best guess, that it was stored along with him inside the tomb because it may have been one of his favourite foods.
Man after my own heart. What?
But unfortunately, the cheese was also found to be contaminated with a potentially deadly bacteria called Brucella yeah.
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 They had to get rid of it.
It was Brucella.
Well, they weren't going to eat it, were they?
melitensis. It's a disease that spreads to animals and to people.
Embalming!
Embalming. That's, yes.
That was the title of this week's show. I didn't even find it. It just came to me.
Oh, smooth.
Yes.
And it's typically the bacteria is usually spread from eating unpasteurized dairy products.
Ugh.
So there won't be anybody eating this cheese.
Damn.
But they're definitely not disposing of it either.
Oh, so what do they hope to do with it? That's what
I'm assuming they're going to cut it up into little pieces and post it to people they don't like and say, sniff this.
Sniff this ancient Egyptian pile of cheese.
3,000 years old.
That's nasty.
But now it's got people wondering if maybe if this was one of his favourite foods, that maybe that bacteria was what ended up killing him. If he had eaten the cheese and it killed him,
Why
and
did they bury him with it?
But I'm not.
Is that traumatic?
I'm
Why
not
are they
quite
burying
sure
with
that
it?
3,000 years ago they'd have understood that the bacteria in the cheese could potentially harm people. Their medical methods
so
weren't
odd.
quite as up to par as they are today.
No.
But I have noticed recently that years ago, a GP or a doctor in a hospital used to sort of know the basics of a whole range of different things. And recently they seem to be specialising in one specific field. And that's kind of interesting because I mean, when I lived, I went to a GP in a town far, far away from here, in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
And my GP had absolutely no clue about the reasons I went there because he was a diabetic specialist. And because I'd been booked in to see him, he had no understanding of how to deal with or how to diagnose anything that I went in there for. And I've noticed over time that people are specialising in one specific field more and more and more. And
This is very distant, but I experienced that the other day in the bank. No, it was very annoying because this guy comes over to me and I was inquiring about a savings account and I tell him all the jazz and I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I need you to help me. And he goes, right, so yeah, I advise on mortgages, so can't help you there. And I was like, why did you come and ask me for help? You can clearly see that I'm under 20. Do I look like I need help with a mortgage? I was so like, oh, that's like 30 seconds of my life I'm never going to get back. You know? I know, I think people need to be trained on the basis and then maybe start to specialise, but...
yes.
They're like, oh, sorry, I can't help you. You need to go to this. Oh, sorry, I can't help you. You need to go to this person.
I know. I had that in one of the banks I bank with. One of
many.
A while back, I was in the queue waiting to be seen, and there was a long queue. They've only got one member of staff in there, and all the rest is automated machinery stuff now. And I was waiting in the queue, and I had about 3 people left in front of me after what seemed like 1 million people in front of me. And another member of staff come over, and she said, "What is it you're planning on doing today?" And I said, "I just want a withdrawal." And she went, "Oh, you could do that on the machines over here." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And she went, "Would you like to do that?" I was like, "No, I'm good." And she went, "I'll show you how to do it." I said,
They
"I know
always
how
do
to do
it. They always do that.
So she dragged me out of the queue over to the machine.
It didn't work.
And it worked. We put the card in. We went through the whole PIN number scenario.
Yeah.
And then she said, "So you're withdrawing this much?" And she said, "What nominations do you want?" I said, "I want it in pound coins and £5 notes." She went, "Oh, this machine doesn't dispense them." And I went, "I know."
If you need pound coins, just come to me. Yeah.
She said, "It doesn't dispense pound coins." And I was like, "I know." She said, "You're going to have to rejoin the queue." And I was like, "I know."
Oh my god.
And she was so apologetic, but I knew that I needed pound coins, and I knew that the machine didn't
should have said
dispense
that in the
pound
first place,
coins.
though.
But I wanted to annoy her because she was annoying me. I was quite happy to do it. I knew what I was doing. I knew I needed to speak to the person behind the counter, but she insisted that the machine's going to make her life easier. And everybody else's.
Oh.
So I very politely went back to the queue, and I said to the woman, "Can you tell the person behind me that I was there first, and that it's okay for me to queue jump now?"
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, "Okay, yeah." She went over and she had a word, and the person behind me looked really frustrated and was like really offended by it.
Oh, no.
And once
you can't jump in front of people in a bank in England.
It's where I was in the first place before she come over and pulled me out of the queue, and I wasn't going to rejoin the back of it without throwing a tantrum. So after she got me back into the queue,
people like you that make me not want to work in retail anymore. It's the only way I can put it.
But if you were working in retail, would you insist on somebody doing something easier and more convenient without knowing the circumstances? Would you put pressure on your customers to do something they already said they don't want to do?
I don't like talking to customers.
Exactly.
That's why I don't work in retail.
You would be okay with letting the customer just do what they want to do, or what they know. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's like when you walk into a store. Do you want to be asked? Hi, how's your day? Do you need any help?
No, I make a note of leaving them stores very quickly.
You know, in Japan, I think it's in Japan, they have baskets. You have 2 separate types of baskets. They have different colour handles. One colour means yes, I want you to talk to me and I want you to ask me if I want any help. And 2, and the other one just means do not talk to me.
I like that.
I would opt for the do not talk to me every single time.
I would opt for the one that says go away.
Yes. Yes. I went from 2 very different jobs when it went from customer service perspective, because the first one was talk to everyone, go on the shop floor, talk to them, like how their day is. And then the next one was we don't believe in customer interaction. Don't talk to us. Like if the customer wants you, they will ask you.
Yes.
If not, just maybe smile at them, just be receptive, but do not talk to them. Do not approach them. It was glorious. I loved it.
Yes, yes.
I once had to approach random people on a job interview once.
Really?
Yeah. I had to just... And he was like, right, we're going to go out on the shop floor and we're just going to talk to people. And I was like... It was my idea of a nightmare because I just had to walk up to people and go, "Hi, I'm on a job interview. I was just wondering how your day was." And then they'd just be like, "Yeah, it was good."
See, that sounds like my idea of heaven.
It was hell on earth.
I spend so much time just chatting to random people. I'm usually the one scaring other people away because I will talk to anybody about anything at any time, as long as I'm the one that gets to approach them first. This is the funny thing. If I'm at a store, somebody comes over to me and just randomly says, "Hi, can I help?" I'm like,
No.
No, you already have. You've convinced me to leave. Thank you. But
She's like, "No, you can't help me."
I mean, I would happily wander up to a random buskers on the street and just be like, "Hi, come on my show."
Yeah, I've experienced that before, you know.
Oh, well, yes. So cheese.
Cheese?
Cheese,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, Egyptian cheese.
3,000-year-old cheese. and seemingly
Customer
3,000-year-old cheesy song coming up next.
Oh, no!
Yes.
That's rude.
Cheese.
How dare you say that about my request? I went to see Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again on Wednesday, so here's a classic ABBA tune the light doesn't like ABBA.
Oh, you make me smile.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sunrise. Running in the shadows, damn your love, damn your life. And if you don't love me now, I can never love you again. I can still hear you say we would never break the chain. If you don't love me now, I can never love you again. I can still hear you say we would never break the chain, break the chain. Listen to the wind blow, watch the sunrise. Running in the shadows, damn your love, damn your life. Break the silence, damn the dark, damn your light. And if you don't love me now, I can never love you again. I can still hear you saying we would never break the chain. If you don't love me now, I can never love you again. I can still hear you saying we would never break the chain, break the chain. Chain, keep us together. Chain, keep us together. Chain, keep us together. Chain, keep us together. Yeah, boy.
Smooth.
I wish I could do the down, 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 because that's such a vital part of the song. But I just don't have the concentration.
Well, apparently you can sing it.
Wow, doesn't have the same effect. It was like yeah, something like that. See, look, that's why I don't do it, because I just don't have the concentration. I don't.
It's a lot closer than what I could do. It's a lot closer than what I could do.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Yes, Jade Thornton, everybody.
Oh well.
The singer, songwriter, and all-round general creative genius, Jade Thornton, live here on Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. Earlier, we were listening to Smile by Uncle Cracker. Before that, we were listening to Does Your Mother Know by ABBA.
Does your mother know that you're out? Whoa, 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 whoa. Such a good film. I highly recommend Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
And I recommend Johnny English.
Okay. So, I've probably seen it. I just don't remember it.
Oh,
sorry.
people who see Johnny English remember they saw Johnny English. So if it makes you feel any better, I haven't seen Mamma Mia 1 or 2.
You're missing out. Mamma Mia is a great film.
Johnny
I just
English
love
is a
ABBA.
great film.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
No.
Oh gosh. So Yes, you remember at the start of the show I said it's only going to be one sort of like downer topic in the whole show.
Yes.
I found
You found another one.
I found another. It could be considered a downer, I suppose. I mean, it's on the topic of Jack the Ripper, and the majority of us know what Jack the Ripper was responsible for. So yes, there's been a lot of theories. There's probably at least 5 or 6 different theories on the who the identity.
What a great time for the lights to go out.
Creepy stuff.
Yeah,
Be
carry on.
afraid. Be very
Carry on, please. Carry on. Carry on, please.
Yes, Jack the Ripper. There's been a lot of theories on who Jack the Ripper could have been.
Yes.
But it has never been proven conclusively. It was way back in 1888 was the first victim, Mary Ann Nichols. But somebody out there has come up with a theory that's kind of got people's attention a little bit.
Okay.
That Jack the Ripper could have been a woman.
Okay, that's really taken me off guard. What?
Something that a lot of people wouldn't have considered before, just because they were left with notes with the victims that said Jack the Ripper. But yeah, there's a
Okay,
theory that-
why?
Because okay, let me see if I can put this in a different order now, because I've worded this in an entirely different way. But there's a doctor's assistant, Lizzie Williams, who was infertile, and she made it quite clear on a number of occasions that she was jealous of people that were able to give birth. And each and every one, 4 of the 5 victims had their uterus removed, and the 5th victim had signs that say it was attempted to be removed. So that's a theory that somebody's kind of working on as a possibility.
I mean, that's not that far-fetched, now you put it like that.
It's not that far-fetched.
No.
Yes, I've got here. I can't even remember why I wrote half of this stuff. It's really confusing me now. A historian, John Morris, stated the case for a female killer in his 2012 book, The Hand of a Woman, and put doctor's assistant Lizzie Williams in the frame.
Yeah, they do not have any record. Like, can they not place her at the scene or what?
It's a theory of one. Ultimately it's a theory of one person.
Okay.
It's I haven't got a great deal of information on it. You're asking me questions that I haven't looked into yet.
Oh my god!
I probably got distracted by puppy movies on YouTube.
Probski.
Or kittens and fluffy kittens and all that sort of stuff. And I want
Probably.
or some of the darker stuff. Yes, so that's a theory that people.
What do you think?
I haven't looked enough into it in the past. I mean, I've heard the stories ever since I was at school, and
We
I've
briefly studied it in GCSE, I think.
and
I can't really remember.
was it more of a history thing or an English thing?
What do you mean?
When you studied it
History.
at school, because when I was at school, history was all about the Anglo-Saxons and the plague.
I did. I can't actually remember what I did. I did medicine through time.
Medicine through to
And I did Nazi Germany. Yeah, I did medicine through time and Nazi Germany.
See, you forget, when I was at school, I was in history. It's probably my childhood that you're all studying at school now in history.
You're not that old, Terry!
When I was around at the grand opening and cutting the ribbon at Stonehenge.
No, you're not that old. God, blimey. My parents would love to differ. They're like, oh, he must be a young'un. But then people older than my parents would be like, they're young'un. And then it's like, it's all a perspective thing. What is that thing? I don't know. I can't remember the word. I don't mean to offend my parents, but, you know.
Back in them there good old days when I was a wee whippersnapper.
Like,
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day on Messenger, and I forget the fact that other people are younger than me. I forget the fact that
that's good, though.
that people, you know, weren't born in the same year I was born, that weren't around when they applied for planning permission for Stonehenge.
Oh my God, stop being so dramatic.
I say to people, oh, do you remember this? And they're like, what on earth is that? And I like, you know, this thing. And
That's
they're
just
like,
people being out of
"What is that
touch.
thing?" And then I realised that when I was in my teens watching it, they were still struggling to keep their gripe water down.
They're what? What? Is that another age thing? They're what, water? They're what?
GRIPE.
I just thought you said grape wrong. I do not know what you are on about.
Now I feel old.
No, it's all a perspective. It's all you put it. What's the word I'm looking for?
When you
It's not
spend
perspective.
a good 50% of your time around people who don't even didn't even know things that you remember watching existed.
I look
have
at people
no
younger than me,
idea
and that
what-
makes me feel old.
what-
And I'm only 18.
Well, when you start feeling old, look at me. Sorted.
Where did I go? A lot of places, places that I play now, or if I'm in a group of people, a lot of them are a lot younger than me.
You still have at least 16 years to reach my age.
What do you mean? Why'd you say at least? Your age is a number, my age is a number. So
Well, as I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be 16 years in about
In about a
3.5 weeks.
what? My birthday?
No,
Wait,
it's
what? I'm so confused.
age gap between me and you.
Yeah.
16 years in about 3 weeks.
Oh, because your yeah.
about
'cause
1
your
week.
birthday's been mine before
3
mine.
weeks, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
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 We're
You've got
getting
me
there.
now.
We're
You
getting
have
there.
me. Sorry, I'm just cleaning your mouse. That was something I saw on Facebook the other day. You know, like children born before, born in 2000s will not understand. You know, when you had to clean a mouse because your roller ball would stop working.
Yes.
That's what I'm currently doing.
I still have a couple of rollerball mice at
Oh
home.
my god.
I know.
Oh my god. See, all clean.
It's all clean, all better now.
Oh, better now.
Now for the rest of the media suite.
You know, I'm all right.
Oh, good times. Okay, what do you say we throw on a few more tunes?
Yes, blood.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Have you heard of Obadiah Parker? You've probably heard it on my show before. I'm pretty sure I've played this a few times before. Obadiah Parker does some wonderful covers of...
I was going to ask, is this a cover? It's unlikely that it's not.
I could say it's an original, but I feel like you wouldn't believe me.
Oh, yeah, I
To me.
Follow at Insanity Radio.
Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something. Before that, we were listening to... What were we listening to? We were listening to Billie Jean by Obadiah Parker. You're listening to Insanity Radio, 103.2 FM. I am White Shadow, and I'm joined in the studio by the singer, songwriter, and all-round general creative genius, Jade Thornton.
Hello. Hello.
And today is the 19th of August, 2018. Which means there are only 128 days left until Christmas! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho.
I know as soon as it goes from August to September, everyone's going to be like, Christmas!
Yes, the very second the 1st of September comes along, all the advent calendars are going to be out, all the mince pies are
You know,
going to be on
people
the
have
shelves.
actually
all the
started
Christmas-
advertising about Christmas in like pound shops and stuff.
Yes, one of my friends has already done half her Christmas shopping.
That's, yes.
Yeah, she already has half her Christmas presents purchased and ready. Wow. I know, it's kind of scary.
That is insane.
The forecast is talking about more heat waves and more periods of
Yeah.
summer all next week. And
I mean, I would do that, but I would lose them, all my Christmas gifts, so...
it wouldn't,
No, I would. No, I really would. I really, really would.
some mysteries are best left unsolved.
And I know my mum's at home going, yes, yes.
And on this day in 1897, the first electric taxis were driven in London.
Electric.
Electric.
Ah.
In 1919, Afghanistan declared independence from the UK. In 1960, the first commercial atomic energy reactor owned by the Yankee Atomic Electric Company achieved a self-sustaining nuclear reaction.
That was so many words.
I like words. Not really. In 1964, the communications satellite SYNCOM-3 was launched.
Damn.
In 1967, the Beatles' All You Need Is Love single went to number 1. In 1995, Mike Tyson returned to the ring and DQ'd Peter McNeely in 38 seconds.
Damn.
And in 2008, the debut album The Fame by Lady Gaga was released.
First album I ever bought.
The first album Jade Thornton ever bought. You heard it here first.
It's like £4.
Yes. That sounds about right. And the number one song in the UK on August the 19th, 2008 was still I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry.
I kissed a girl and I liked it. I used to love that song.
Yeah, and the number one song in the UK on August the 19th, 1998 was still No Matter What by Boyzone.
I want to know what the number one was on my birthday.
And the number one song in the UK on August the 19th, 1988 was still The Only Way Is Up.
The only way is up, baby.
By Yes and the Plastic Population. Well, I should just come up with a whole list of songs and just listen to you sing them all on
Yeah.
live on it. That would be fun. That would be
No,
fun.
I'd end up embarrassing myself because I wouldn't know half of them.
I felt like I needed to add a little something a bit different. The number one song in the UK on August 19th, 2013, 5 years ago today, was Burn by Ellie Goulding.
Ugh. Sorry.
Totally no bias.
If I Let You Go by Westlife was on the 22nd of August.
On the year you was born.
Yeah, 99.
Smooth.
And then the next week was Mambo number 5, so I'm going to choose to just associate that with myself.
Okay, yeah, that's
Mambo
fair.
number 5! I thought you were having like problems with your throat then. And then from the 19th of September was I'm blue, dee dee and then it was I'm flying without wings. What a great year. What a great year. March that year was Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Smooth.
Damn, I would have preferred that. Or No Scrubs in May. Or Everybody's Free, brackets, to wear sunscreen, close brackets, in June. Or Living La Vida Loca
Tune
on the
it.
25th of July. Yes. Only
Tune
1
it.
week. Bad. Blue stayed up there from the 19th of September to the 17th of October. How impressive is that?
I know, right?
That's a pretty good.
That's why it ended up being played on my UK chart show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's- yeah,
nice.
I had a 2-hour chart show special on my birthday last year.
I just looked up Dan's one and apparently it was the real Slim Shady.
Smooth.
The real Slim Shady, please. And what was the number one on your birthday?
I actually don't know. It's probably something
I can't work out what year you were born. I'm
83.
83. Thank you. I didn't want
83.
to do the maths.
Yeah, no, nobody likes counting.
August 6th of August. Wrapped Around Your Finger by The Police.
I never even heard of it.
The Police had 2 number ones that year. Yeah. Message in a bottle. Please tell me you've heard that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I've probably heard the other one, but don't realise I've heard
Every
it.
breath you take, every move you make. Oh, and there's a Rod Stewart one as well.
There's a Rod Stewart
Yeah,
one.
there's a Rod Stewart one in there.
Smooth.
And Billie Jean was number 1 that year as well.
Good
2
day.
weeks. Yeah.
Did
there
you know?
go.
On this day in 1972, David Bowie played the first of 2 nights at the Rainbow Theatre in England on his current 182-date Ziggy Stardust World Tour.
182 stars. That's not like 7 months.
182 dates. Back in the days when people knew how to perform.
Oh! Slam! 182 divided by 30, we'll go for average. It's about 6 months.
See, imagine any performer in this day and age being able to do that.
Without lip sync.
In 1977, on this day, the Sex Pistols started an undercover UK tour as the Spots,
Really?
which was an acronym for Sex Pistols on Tour Secretly.
That's so clever.
Yes.
That's
And
so clever.
Today, of course, marks the birthdays of Bill Clinton, who is 71 today. Matthew Perry, who is 48 today.
No way, he's 48.
He's
looks older than that.
48
He looks so much older than that.
He might be 49.
It was Andy Sandberg's birthday yesterday.
Andy Sandbag.
Andy Sandberg. It
Who's
was
that?
his 40th birthday, the main guy out of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
or The Lonely
this-
Island.
Yes,
he's
yes,
also
this is
known
one everybody still keeps telling me to watch, and I
Yep.
still haven't watched.
for. Do it.
Along with Stranger Things. I'm still horrified by the fact that Zoo cancelled Series 4. I'm still losing sleep over
You
what
got to
happened
get
next.
over it, Tether.
And of course, if she hadn't passed away back in 1971, today would have been the birthday of Coco Chanel.
Oh, really?
Really?
Coco Chanel.
Coco Chanel.
Coco Chanel.
Indubitably. Jolly
You'd-
good form, old bean. Tally hell.
My shoulders really hurt. I don't know why.
It's
the busking.
it's carrying
In the
that,
London
that
yesterday.
guitar all over, everywhere, all of the time. Could be lack of sleep, general exhaustion. Could be so many things.
Yes.
It could be the sign of old age. I mean, you are pushing on now.
I'm pushing 19 now.
Yes.
That's ancient.
It won't be long before you're towing it.
I need a back rub or something. You know where I'm going after this?
Dan?
The gym.
Yes,
work.
that's what you do. When you're in pain, you're sore, and you feel like you need a
You
rest.
go make it worse.
You go make it worse. You go to the
Go
gym.
home first. And
You go in. It's like somebody who loses their leg being told to run it off.
Or chooses to jump in the middle of a studio.
Or chooses to jump in the middle of a studio. Yes.
Muck up their knee.
And discombobulate their knee. I wonder who that was.
I don't know. Well, it wasn't me. I can tell you that right now.
Oh my gosh! Next week I have got. If you're here, if I'm here, I have got a very, very, very special guest coming into the studio. Somebody who's going to remain anonymous until next week. Anonymous. Somebody who's going to remain anonymous.
Yes.
Yes, until next week. Somebody who has
Exciting.
been on this show once before,
Exciting.
nearly 8 months ago.
Exciting.
And I am really, really looking forward to that because I really assumed it was going to be a one-off.
One off.
A one-off. Because if I'm not mistaken, she'd graduated and left and the university, and now she may be back.
Guess
And
who's
I'm
back?
so excited.
Back again. Someone's back. Tell a friend.
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Guess who's back?
I can't get lower than that.
Back.
Oh my gosh. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that next week from 1 till 3. I can't even remember what my own show is anymore.
Wow.
I know.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. What do you say we throw on 1 or 2 more tunes?
A yes.
Yes.
A yes.
Stick around to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM.
Yes.
Yes, Shotgun by George Ezra. Before that, we were listening to Come As You Are by Nirvana. You're listening to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. I'm White Shadow, and I'm joined by the singer, songwriter, and all-round general genius, Jade Thornton,
It's me, Mario.
who has had a gender change and
Yeah.
voice change
Yeah.
throughout the last
Yeah.
7.5 minutes, 8 minutes. And we have only got 1 minute left of the show.
Oh, damn.
It's already...
Please vote for me.
Yes.
That's what I will say.
buskinlondon.com.
We've got a week left.
Got a week left. buskinlondon.com/entry/Jade-Thornton-0.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Go vote for her for the Busk in London competition. See if Jade ends up being that wild card.
Oh, I really hope so.
Oh, it would be awesome. It would be
It would
awesome.
be pretty cool.
But there is more opportunities out there.
Yeah, there are.
It
But they're
is.
not very easy to come by. If I'm being 100% honest with
I think
you.
over the last year, it feels like you've been involved in just about every competition, contest, singing, organisation.
And always come
everything
about sixth. Or not placed. Yeah.
It seems to be quite...
It's cool.
If there's anything out there, Jade knows where to find it.
Oh, I'm on social media all the time, so you know.
Yes. And
Yep.
yes, when you're not getting locked out of it, you're always on social media.
Don't! I'm trying to get there. Dan helped me out with it the other day, so.
Awesome, but we already need to end the show.
I know.
Unless you want to stick around for another hour.
I'm good. I'm really hungry.
Yeah, food is good.
Yeah.
Food is very, very good.
Uh-huh.
I think I ate about 3 houses yesterday.
I mean, so do I. I had, because we did this London thing, I bought a meal deal in Sainsbury's and it didn't have a fork. So I just ended up going around the London Underground with an open pack of pasta in my hand and ate at about 5 o'clock and then had dinner at about 8 o'clock and hadn't eaten for quite a while beforehand. So I was like, am I sick? Am I hungry? I'm like, I don't know what to do.
See, the pasta without the fork thing, you've got two ways of solving that as far as I can see.
We had a packet of crisps, so I did have a packet of crisps and tried to scoop the pasta up with the crisps. But I just kept getting hungry and eating the crisps.
See, I'm not surprised.
So I just want to eat the crisps.
Nowadays, I never see a bag of crisps that aren't too broken to use as a spoon or something.
Or too far down the packet because it's like half full of air.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, all I found is a bag of crumbs.
Shotgun. Yeah.
And yes, you said 57 seconds, and Retro Stevie in his commentary last week said it was 59 seconds he counted into Shotgun by George Ezra when the apparent burp sound comes up. It's very close.
It was from memory from a tweet.
It's very close.
Sorry.
And that's why it got played last week. Rebecca Simmons and Paige made that song request because apparently, but that's a sound I've actually made a few times when I'm doing my little karaoke jams and that kind of stuff. I've been prone to making that sort of sound. It's a sort of a kind of smooth, toady voice. It's not I'm convinced it's not a burp. I'm convinced.
Even
it's
though
not
George Ezra does have an incredibly low voice.
Toady.
Almost as low as mine. Joking. Right.
Yes. Shall we?
You shall.
We shall.
You shall.
We shall.
You shall.
Are you going to come bring me out of the segment? Are you gonna do this with
No,
me?
you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
All right. Stick around to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. Don't forget to tune in again next week between 1 and 3, where hopefully we'll have a surprise, a mystery guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready, let's get ready, let's get ready to rumble. Watch us wreck the mic, watch us wreck the